you. How to make research fun. This was the question on Leela's mind as she considered what topic to present her 7th speech on. As she contemplated this, she learned that on her upcoming trip to visit new friends in Mexico City, she'd be staying at their weekend house, which also happens to be the winter home of the Monarch butterfly. Question answered. Here to share what she learned during this grueling research on Sunday in Mexico is Leela Sullivan, The Migration of the Monarch Butterfly.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I love what Vivek said, a place where my heart feels home. That's how I feel when I'm around a lot of butterflies. Has anyone here been to the Butterfly Wonderland in Scottsdale? I have. It's awesome. I've heard amazing things about it. I haven't been there yet. The very first time I saw a lot of butterflies, it was at Hershey Park, and they had a butterfly house on the gardens there. And the feeling that it evoked in me to be in that space and how quiet it is, and just I would say it's like the lightness of the air in the space. It felt so amazing to me. It felt like home, and I was home in myself in that space. So I was very excited to find out that where the monarch butterflies spend the winter is where I was going to be this past weekend. And that's all I talked about the whole trip down. I was like, did you know that that's where the monarch butterflies are? I can't wait to see all these butterflies. And for me, research is something that is not very exciting. I'm a kinesthetic learner. For me to just sit and read a book just feels really boring. So what I did instead was climb this, I think it was like 10,000 feet, that we're climbing up this mountain to get to the place where then you have to go down into this little valley to where the monarch butterflies are. And it was amazing. And what was most amazing to me was that it wasn't just about the experience that I'm used to of like really enjoying being in the peace of the butterflies, but it was all that I ended up learning about the migration of them. That was very new information to me. Now, I knew about butterflies and that, butterflies, I think of it, the medicine of the butterfly, which is really like what they symbolize, is transformation. And they symbolize transformation because they have 4 stages. First, they're an egg. Then they're a caterpillar, then they're a chrysalis, and then they're a butterfly. Well, monarch butterflies take it to a whole other level because not only do they have 4 stages, there are 4 generations of them in 1 year. It was amazing to me. So of course, now all of this is being told to me in Spanish, and I don't really understand Spanish, so we're relying on the interpretation of my boyfriend, who says, they basically come here for the winter and have sex. Okay, that sounds great. So monarch butterflies, I think I'd like to do that for the next week. It's a beautiful place. So they come from up in eastern Canada, and they fly all the way back to Mexico, and to this place in Mexico. And there's a couple of different places, but it's very specific. There are certain spots where the same butterflies come, well, it's not the same butterflies, the same family of butterflies will come back to every year. It takes 4 generations of butterflies for this to happen. The butterflies that start in Canada, they come to Mexico, they hibernate, they spend the winter, they have sex. They lay their eggs, and then they die. They lay, on average, 300 to 400 eggs, one at a time.
Ouch.
One at a time. Then the eggs, I think it's about 10 days, becomes a caterpillar. Then they're a caterpillar. Then the caterpillar attaches itself by a piece of silk, creates a piece of silk, to a leaf under a tree. And it's very specific. It's a type of pine tree in Mexico. And then there's also other ones that just come to Southern California, and then they're in eucalyptus trees, it turns out. But these ones here in Mexico, then you have all these chrysalises that are hanging, and there are millions of them hanging from these trees. And then they become a butterfly. And then they fly around for a little while to make all of us very happy in that space where I'm in my heart watching just butterflies everywhere. And then they fly. And then they lay their eggs. And then they die. And this happens 4 times. So in February, March, the ones lay their eggs and are born in Mexico. Then they start heading north, and then in May, June, the next ones are born. And then they go through their process, and on up. The 4th generation actually lives, is set up for 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, 4 to 6 months. And then that generation that lives for 4 to 6 months flies all the way back down to Mexico from Canada and begins the process all over again. And I just find that fascinating. That's very cool. This is new. I missed this part. New information. Thank you. And it's just amazing to me that most of them only live 4 to 6 weeks. And then there's this generation that lives 4 to 6 months. And then that generation comes back to the very same trees that their great-great-grandparents, or is it great-great-great-great-grandparents, were born in. And then they begin the process all over again. So I was so excited about this, and I'm thinking, this is going to be perfect for my research, except that I just got home last night, and it was a very whirlwind 5 days, and I find that the more that I try to answer the questions and know the research, the more questions that I have. And then there's the things that so I was online last night very late, on a few different websites. There's a website, Monarch-Butterfly, that has all the information and all kinds of great stuff. I was looking for, do I have an outfit? Because, you know, they're all black and orange. The males have 2 dots. They have 2 black dots down at the bottoms of their wings, and the females do not. That's how you tell the difference between them. Unfortunately, I do not have any outfits that I could come looking like a butterfly. This was the best I could do with my winged legs. Although this shirt, the brand of the shirt is Butterfly Dropout, which I'm not exactly sure what that means. But as close as I can get to having butterfly in my presentation. And I'm very excited to have shared this little bit with you. Thank you for that. And because I always end up talking about yoga, I will let you know that the other thing that I learned yesterday is that at the Butterfly Wonderland, I think it's from April to June, I need to confirm, they have yoga classes in the room with the butterflies. Oh. Which, considering that I learned that you have to be really quiet, because if you make too much noise, butterflies will die, I'm not quite sure how that works. So to be continued. Thank you.